Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are listening from. Welcome to Acad FM.
Hello, everyone.
It is Friday, January 23rd, 2026. We're broadcasting from the Academia BSB studios. Now, before we get into sunburns and some very interesting grammar, give our listeners the rundown. What's the mission here with this English Conversations course?
Right.
Because looking at these notes, we're way past the book is on the table.
Oh, definitely. At Academia BSB, our mission is, well, it's quite specific. We guide students from that basic, sort of fragmented English to the B1 level of the CE-AFRL.
The Common European Framework.
Exactly. It's all about autonomy. It's moving from, where's the bathroom, to being able to argue a point or navigate a city by yourself. We're building global citizens.
I love that. Global citizens. That's the goal. And speaking of which, we have to introduce the student we're focusing on today. Her name is Mireilly.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, she is an absolute powerhouse.
She really is. Mireilly is a pre-med student from the Brazilian Midwest, Mato Grosso do Sul.
Which I have to say translates to thick grass from the south. It sounds so epic in English.
It does, doesn't it? It has a certain grandeur. She moved there at 17 for work, which shows some serious grit.
Wow. And she has roots further south, right? Paraná and Santa Catarina.
That's right. And now she's in that high-stress waiting period every student knows. She just turned 18 last year and is waiting on her university entrance exam results.
And not just for any university. She's aiming for USP, the University of São Paulo.
The gold standard in Brazil. It's a huge moment, moving from the thick grass, as you said, to the concrete jungle.
High stakes, high rewards. Okay, before we unpack the grammar of sunburns and the very interesting topic of eating ants.
Oh, yes.
We have to hit my favorite segment.
It's time for the gamification points.
Let's do it. So for everyone listening, you know how this works. Everything you do in our ecosystem counts. It's not just about a grade.
Exactly. These points, or Estrellinas, are currency. They help you rank for monthly giveaways, mugs, t-shirts, you name it. But you can also use them to purchase courses. It's a whole economy of knowledge.
So lay it on me. How did Mireilly do?
It was a huge week. Across the two sessions we're looking at, Mireilly racked up a massive 20 stars.
20.
14 stars on day one and another 6 on day 2.
14 stars in one class is amazing. That means she was really driving the conversation. A huge congratulations to you, Mireilly.
A truly stellar performance. Now, shall we pivot to the theme of this week? It's got a bit of an MTV vibe to it.
Totally. We're calling this one Sizzling Skins and University Wins, the Aloe Vera Chronicles. The main theme was all about sunburns, cures, and, well, holiday mishaps.
Which is so relevant, especially in Brazil. The text was how to cure or solve a problem, focusing on home remedies. The advice was pretty simple. If you don't have an aloe plant, check your kitchen.
I love a good kitchen hack. The text mentioned a mixture, or using moisture, to help soaked skin. But let's get into the specific vocabulary that came up. There were some great words here.
Let's do it. First up, blister.
Ugh.
Yeah. That painful, fluid-filled bubble you get on your skin.
The worst. Then there was a very official-sounding word, redact.
Yes, to redact something means to edit or censor it. Very relevant for a pre-med student, redacting patient information from files.
They read Grey's Anatomy. Okay, next, shoplift.
Right. It's important to know this is specifically stealing from a store while pretending to be a customer. It's about stealth.
And trinkets. The notes say her aunt brings these little ornaments to the beach. I can just picture them.
We also had clingy, which can describe a person who is too attached or, a wet bathing suit. So true. And the last one was incarnation, the embodiment of something. I mean, what a range. From shoplifting trinkets to spiritual incarnation.
It covers a lot of ground.
Also have to point out the little story the vocab list tells with the words vice, cocktail, and sunbathing.
Go on.
Well, a vice is a bad habit, right?
Yeah.
And then you see cocktail and sunbathing. It's like a warning. Enjoy the sunbathing, but don't let it become a vice or you'll end up with blisters.
A cautionary tale and a vocab list. I like it.
Exactly. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
When we come back, we've got a tongue twister for you. Stay with us.
Okay, we are back. Quick recap. Try not to shoplift trinkets. Definitely try not to get a blister. And maybe redact your more embarrassing holiday photos.
Sound advice. Now, are you ready for a little linguistic workout?
I was born ready. Hit me with a tongue twister.
All right. This one is all about the difference between that long E sound and the short I sound. Here it is. She seeks a deep dip, not a cheap sheep seat. Ooh, that's a good one. She seeks a deep dip, not a cheap sheep seat. You really have to stretch the vowel in deep and seat.
You do, and you have to keep it short and dip. Otherwise, you might ask for a sheep sit, and that's just nonsense.
Right. It trains your mouth. Speaking of training, let's get into the grammar, the bones of the language.
We're looking at what the notes call the sandwich rule.
The sandwich rule. I'm intrigued. And hungry?
It refers to the CVC pattern, consonant, vowel, consonant. When a word like put, P-U-T, ends this way, you have to double the last letter before adding a suffix.
So put becomes pudding with 2 T's. Why is that?
It's to protect the vowel sound. That second T acts like a bodyguard for the short U. If you just wrote pudding, it would rhyme with computing. The sound would change completely.
Ah, that makes perfect sense. It keeps the vowel short. The notes also covered suffixes, like turning sore into the noun soreness.
Or busy into business, and like into likeness. It's about changing a word's job in the sentence.
The student also had to deal with irregular comparatives. This is where so many people make mistakes.
It's so tempting to say gooder.
This coffee's gooder than yesterday's. Nope.
Never. Good becomes better, and bad becomes worse.
I always say badder sounds like something a cartoon villain would say. I'm the baddest of them all. No, you're just the worst at grammar.
We also saw far becomes further, and the notes made a clear distinction between a prefix, which goes at the front, and a suffix at the back.
It's like language Legos. Now, moving on to pronunciation, it looks like we had a phonetic showdown.
A battle of the sounds, yes. The idea is to avoid false similarities.
Okay, let's run through them. First up, pan versus pain.
A huge difference. Pan, like a frying pan, has that short A sound. Pain, the feeling, has that A diphthong. You really don't want to say, I am in pain.
No, that would be painful.
Right.
Then we had pet versus pat.
Right. Pet like your dog, pat like a pat on the back. You have to drop your jaw a bit more for pat.
And the classic man versus ma'am, a mistake you don't want to make.
Definitely not. We also saw deep versus dip and sit versus seat again, and pull versus pool.
Yeah, asking someone to push you into the pool is not going to work.
Ooh. The notes also reviewed some irregular past tense verbs. Swim becomes swam, sing, sang, drink, drank.
And the past participle is drunk, which brings us right back to those cocktails. It's all connected.
It is. We also saw specific corrections for, unfortunately, chemicals, grocery, and milder.
Milder is interesting. That I is long, like the word I. I-ilder.
Exactly, not milder.
Got it. Okay, my brain is buzzing with vowels. I think it's time for another quick break.
We'll be right back to talk about regrets.
Don't go anywhere.
And we're back. So to recap that last bit, a pat on the back is encouragement. A pet is your furry friend.
And pain belongs in your body, not in a frying pan.
Well said. Ready for the second tongue twister?
I am ready.
Here we go. Chill Bill kills the mill with a mild pill.
Chill Bill kills the mill with a mild pill. Whoa. That's a lot of short I sounds, and then you have to switch to the long I for mild. That's a real workout for your mouth.
It builds phonetic agility. Now let's move into speaking and situations. The notes had a role play we call the If I Had game.
Oh, this is all about regrets and hypotheticals. Using that could have structure.
Precisely. Situation 1 was at a restaurant. The problem was her phone died, so she had to pay with cash, paper money.
The ultimate Gen Z nightmare. So the sentence was, I could have avoided embarrassment if I had brought my phone charger.
Perfect. Third conditional. A past unreal situation. Situation 2 was about mobility, feeling stuck in one place.
If I had a car, I could have moved around more. I think we can all relate to that feeling sometime.
And the third one was academic. I could have spent more time on essay writing to have a better performance.
This leads us right into the writing critique. The teacher made a comment about the first draft versus second draft way of thinking.
Yes. The difference between saying your performance was as good as expected versus it being within your possibilities.
Right. So at the B1 level, it's not just about getting it done. It's about realizing you could have pushed further. Recognizing that is a sign of real growth.
It shows a high level of self-awareness.
Speaking of awareness,
Yeah.
we have to talk about the cultural quirks section. Paolo, did you read the notes about Mireilly's mother?
I did. And as someone who has traveled a lot, I have to say this one made me pause. We're talking about superstition versus tradition.
Her mother used to eat live ants. Live ants to improve her sight.
And live fish to learn how to swim.
I mean, I don't even know what to say. I feel like swimming lessons would be more direct, you know.
One would think the notes listed this under the vocabulary for ancient versus disappointing. I think disappointing refers to the results of that diet.
No kidding. Mom, I still can't see the board.
Well, son, eat another ant. But this really provides context for her vocabulary. Words like countryside and town and her family's background in more rural areas.
Totally. We saw easygoing and annoying and trinket skin with her aunt. It paints such a vivid picture of her family life.
It does. She isn't just learning abstract words. She's learning the words she needs to tell her own very unique story.
Which is really the whole point.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take one final break.
We will be right back.
And we are back for the final segment. So the main takeaway from that last part is eating ants probably won't help you pass your university exams. Studying, on the other hand, will.
And for our final tongue twister, a loose sock fits a tight foot.
Wait, is that the tongue twister?
It is. A loose sock fits a tight foot.
A loose sock fits a tight foot. Okay, it's not just a tongue twister, that's also just good life advice.
It is. Now, let's look at use of language. There are some great colloquialisms here.
Yes, so, which means more or less. And the notes listed great synonyms like sorta and kinda.
Which are short for sort of and kind of. If you want to sound natural, you say, I'm kind of tired, not I am kind of tired.
Totally. And then, my bad. The universal casual apology, oops, my bad.
And we saw hip, cool, and trendy. All words a young student moving to a huge city like São Paulo will definitely need.
Oh, she's going to need those. The notes also stressed listening and watching.
This is so important. Watching movies, news, anything authentic. It closes the gap between textbook English and how people actually speak.
Right. You can know all the grammar rules in the world, but if you can't understand a fast-talking news anchor, you're missing a big piece of the puzzle.
And finally, the notes included Mireilly's top holiday tips, a sort of prevention list.
Let's hear them. Number 1.
Use sunglasses.
Essential. Number 2.
Drink water.
Hydration is everything. Number 3.
Use sunscreen lotion.
To avoid those blisters we talked about. And number 4.
Always bring a phone charger.
Which brings us full circle to avoiding embarrassment at the restaurant. It's all connected.
It is.
So as we wrap up, how do we assess Mireilly's progress? Where's she at on that B1 level?
Honestly, she is doing incredibly well. Her vocabulary is fantastic. She's using words like incarnation and redact, and she's using complex conditionals that, if I had structure, that's a high-level skill.
I agree. The challenges she's facing are pretty typical for this level. Things like vowel length seat versus sit, and remembering those irregular past participles like get versus gotten.
But that's all just practice. The foundation is incredibly strong.
So Mireilly, if you're listening, you are absolutely on the right track. Keep up the amazing work.
And please remember, if you want to improve your eyesight for medical school, just stick to the books. Eating live ants is officially not a B1 recommended study strategy.
Maybe try some carrots.
Ooh.
Or, glasses.
Exactly.
Well, that is all the time we have for today on Acad FM.
For the final versions of the essays we discussed and more, you can check out the blog at students.academiabsb.com.br blog.
Until next time, keep learning.
This podcast was created by Academia BSB as a learning tool to one of our courses. You can check this file's metadata for credits and go to academiabsb.com.br to find out more about this and other audio exercises. If you have any questions, doubts, or any other requests, you can always shoot us a message. Academia BSB, Intelligent Courses.